Hi, everybody. I am sitting down with my favorite girls today of our podcast, Girl Do Better, the podcast. So oftentimes, you guys really get to know somebody's voice behind a podcast, but you rarely get to see the faces. So we thought, what a great opportunity for you to actually get to meet the girls and get to know them just a little bit better. So in no particular order, I'm going to introduce the girls to you and then do one-on-ones so you can get to know them just a little bit better. So to my right, I have Danny.
Hey, guys.
Dianna.
Aloha.
Camille.
Hey.
And to my left, I have Jackie.
Hey.
Kamaya.
Hey, boo.
Brittany.
Hola.
And Cicely.
Hey.
So stay tuned.
Hey, Kamaya girl.
Hi, Bria girl.
Okay, so we call you the loudest of the group.
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
Because I'm loud. Okay. I've always been a naturally loud talker since I was a kid. My teachers would always, when the whole classroom was talking, my teachers would always yell at me to stop talking because even though everyone else was talking, they always heard me. So I used to get offended by it, but now I've kind of embraced it because it's like I can't talk any quieter. I don't know how to whisper, so I'm just gonna rock with it.
As you should.
Thanks.
Okay, girl, let me ask you, what is your strongest personal quality?
I think my strongest personal quality is my gift of gab. Like, I'm a natural storyteller. I'm a journalist at heart. I love talking to people, getting to know people, asking questions. I can easily have a conversation with someone. So I think that's my greatest personal attribute.
I would agree.
Thanks.
And the last question I have for you is, what used to be considered trashy but is now very classy?
Ooh, Probably big butts.
Okay.
Those are very in. I myself just have a natural big butt, so I've always had that. But it used to be like people getting the boob jobs, and now it's all everyone getting the butt jobs. So
that's such a good one.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Everyone's hitting up Dr. Miami, that famous doctor.
Oh.
I hear he's like 2 years booked up. Like.
Well, thank God that you don't have to get in line.
I don't.
I might have to get in line, but you don't. You got the goods.
You can have some of mine, girl.
Well, thank you for sitting down with me and allowing everybody else to get to know you a little bit better.
No problem. Have fun. Oops, coming untucked. Oh, well, I'm still fabulous.
So, Jacqueline, you are considered the joker of the group.
It is true.
Why?
Because, I got a little witty comment for everything that comes up. I don't take anything too seriously.
All right. So, what's one thing about you that people don't know but you wish they did?
One thing I wish they knew is that even though I do come off pretty nonchalant about everything, I do care about my family, do care about my friends, and always want to make sure the home team knows that I have their back.
I think you do a good job of that.
Okay. Well, then I think we're good.
Okay, let me ask you one more question.
Oh, man.
Okay, so if you could know the absolute truth to one question, what would the question be?
I don't think I'd want to know the absolute truth to anything. I think it is what it is, roll with the punches, and everything that's going to happen that way for a reason.
Ooh, girl, I wish I had your mindset. Well, Jackie, it was nice getting to know you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, girl. You're welcome, girl. So, Brittany, we like to call you the go-getter of the group.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Why do you think that is?
I think that people call me the go-getter because sometimes, I don't want to say I'm overly ambitious, but sometimes I'm just not satisfied. Like, I'm grateful for all that I have. I know that I'm very blessed, but I always want to achieve more because there's so many opportunities out there, and also there's so many ways to give back. So I really want to make my impact on the world the best way I know how.
I think you do a great job of that.
Thank you.
So what do you think is the most significant barrier to female leadership, considering you're such a leader in your own right?
Thank you. That's an awesome question, Bria. I think, let me start by saying that according to a study by Fortune, only 6% of Fortune 500 CEOs are women. Although 60% of undergraduate and graduate degrees come from women. So there's a lot of hypotheses that can come from that. And researchers have concluded maybe businesses aren't ready for women to take those powerful positions. And also that women just have a lot more, are perceived to have to do a lot more than men. But to answer your question, I believe it's an unconscious bias. I believe that businesses and men think maybe women are overly emotional. It could be a lot of other factors, but the way to prevent that is to maybe have unconscious bias trainings, as well as for men to be advocates for women, as well to empower them and bring them to leadership. And once they do, they can create a network that can bring a new generation of women into power, so that 6% can ultimately become closer to 50.
Facts.
Thanks.
You always stating facts, girl. Okay, last question.
Okay.
If you could get drinks with one influential woman, who would it be?
Wow, easy. Michelle Obama.
There you go.
Just because we're in Chicago, I think that's one thing. But also being the first lady, she did so much in office while supporting Barack. And even after office, you see her still achieving goals and pursuing other endeavors that she has. So I would love to sit down with her, just chat about how she got to this point today and how she's influencing other women and her goals, because a lot of women, once they achieve such high stature, or once you achieve a goal, for I guess anyone in general, you stop. And she is always achieving something else, but has a purpose behind it, not solely for money. So I would love to sit down and have dinner with her.
I love it.
Or drink.
Michelle, call us.
Please.
All right, Britt. Well, it was great to get to know you.
Thanks, Bria.
Can't wait to continue this journey with you.
Thanks for having me.
Of course.
So, Camille,
Hi.
we like to call you the comedian of the group.
I guess.
What do you think that is?
I don't know. I feel like people think that I'm funny. I just speak my mind. I say what's real. And if people find that funny, then that's good for them.
I think you're funny.
Thanks.
Okay, let's jump in. What is the title of the current chapter of your life and why?
Okay. This chapter, and this would be like a long book, I think, too. We're like towards the end of the chapter. I think it would be called Closing Time.
Why?
I think so. I think because I'm closing a couple of different chapters in my life, you know, like having a lot of like revelations and like having a lot of personal time to figure out who I want to be and where I want to go next. And so I think that the chapter itself would be called Closing Time because I am closing another chapter and the end is near, I think.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's very creative of you.
Thank you.
Funny and creative. Okay, one more question for you. What is something that you say you'll do but never will?
That I'll say I'll do but never will. Oh. I like really don't know. I think, I just think I always say that like I'll start something like today and then I'll usually do it like in 2 days or something like that.
You wait.
Not that I wait, but I like to have a plan and I'm not very good at being like, oh yeah, like let's just jump into it. Like I'll be like, yes, we should totally do this. And then be like, actually, let's like think about this. So I think, yeah, that's something I'd say.
Funny, creative, and reasonable.
I try. I have to plan it out.
Ooh. Yes. Well, Camille, thank you for sitting down with me, and I
Of
loved
course.
getting to know you better.
Yeah.
You're welcome. So, Cicely, we like to call you the visionary of the group. Why do you think that is?
I think I love to look at the big picture. So I'm definitely into like planning and seeing, you know, what the vision is for long term, and that really makes me excited. So I think that's why.
I think you're perfect for it, and you're the most patient with us all. So I think it works out for the best.
Thank you.
Okay, let's jump in. What is one thing you wish people understood about you?
I really wish that people understood that even though I'm introverted and, you know, I might not be the first person to speak up or the loudest one in the room, I still have something of value to say. I think sometimes my voice can get a little lost in the shuffle, so.
I think that's true because when Cicely speaks, we all listen.
Thank you.
So I would agree with that. And last question for you. What is the most embarrassing thing you've ever worn?
Ooh. So when I was like in middle school, I went to the Scream tour with, you know, Bow Wow, B2K, all them, and wore, I think it was like a floor length denim skirt and like some, it was like some striped like button up. It was a mess. I thought I was real cute.
Wait, a striped button up?
It was a mess. It was like striped, but it was like trying to be cute. But then I had this like denim skirt on. It was bad.
How much you want to bet we could probably find someone who could rock it? Just
Probably
as good
like
as you could.
yeah. I mean, you know, Rihanna can rock pretty much anything. So like she'd probably slay that outfit. But I looked like.
You should too. You should actually wear it on our next podcast episode.
I don't know if I can find a skirt like that. Thankfully.
Well, Cicely, thank you for sitting down with me and letting everybody else to get to know you a little bit better.
Thank you for having
You're
me.
welcome, girl. All right, Dianna girl. We like to call you the realest, but I also want to say the wisest of the group.
Oh, well, thank you.
Why do you think that is?
One, because I'm the oldest. And, you know, with age comes more experience. And I think also because I've learned that sometimes if you're not real with people, you're not really helping them out, you know. And, you know, for people who are very close to me, I want to make sure that I'm sharing my wisdom and my experience with you guys.
Well, I always feel like you have my back. So I appreciate
I
it. Okay, Dianna, so what event in your life has shaped you the most as a person?
I would say moving to Miami for like 3 reasons. One, because I feel like, you know, it shows you who you are. You know, there's different paths that you can take to, you know, be successful. And so it really makes you like decide, you know, who you want to be. Also because, you know, you're put around a lot of people who are like very wealthy. And that's what made me want to be an entrepreneur so that I can, you know, reach that, you know, $1 million status, that $1 billion status. And also because I was, you know, on my own. So I had to like learn how to do stuff and things like that. So, yeah.
You think you're almost ready to go back to Miami?
I am. I'm ready to get out of this cold.
Well, I can't wait to see you go back because when you go back, that means you would have achieved all those things that have impacted you the most, right?
Yeah, that's very true. Yeah.
Okay, one more question.
Okay, girl.
What question do you hate to answer?
What question do I hate to answer? What are you doing?
Ooh.
Yeah. Because, you know, I'm in like that weird state, like as an entrepreneur where I'm like, oh, well, like I'm a CEO, but like it doesn't really matter to you because like I don't really have any coins. So it just sounds like, you know.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
You guys have been coming up with some good answers to my on-the-spot questions. No, I really do like that one, though.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah. Well,
Thank you for sitting down with me and allowing everybody else to get to know you a little bit better.
Well, thank you for having me.
Of course.
All right.
Hey, bestie girl, you looking all cute.
Thank you, girl. You looking cute too.
Okay, Dee, so we like to call you the planner of the group. Why do you think that is?
I think it's just because I like to keep things organized, and I feel like a lot with so many of us in a group, everyone is kind of gets like jumbled and mumbled, and I'm like, let's plan this so we can be organized, stay on time, and be cautious, you know, of everyone else's time. So I think that's why.
Not only are you the planner, but you're the boss.
You know, girl.
Okay, let me jump in. What is the best and worst decision you've ever made?
I think the best decision was entrepreneurship, and then the worst decision was basically like putting a lot of myself into someone else's like company or business. Because like when I worked at one company, like I was like working until 10 o'clock at night, and like at the end of the day, like they don't really care about you, and I was like having anxiety with all this stuff. Like, so I think the worst decision was like trying to give my all into a company that doesn't really care about you, and that's why kind of my best decision was like entrepreneurship, knowing that I'm working at my 9 to 5 or whatever, but like I'm really trying to work and build my own business.
Yeah, so investing in yourself is definitely important.
Not investing in that in the other person's dream.
I would 100% agree with you on that. If Hollywood made a movie about your life, whom would you want to see play the lead role as you?
Oh, Beyonce.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to take that answer from me.
I feel like she's like the best. Like who else? I'm like, who else would you want? I love Beyonce or Rihanna or like Kerry Washington. I love her too. Like I miss Scandal.
So one person. Who
Beyonce.
That's mine.
Oh, okay. Let's do. I was like, we could do Carrie. I love Carrie. We could do her.
Okay, so we'll say Beyonce and Carrie.
Okay.
Because when I have a show too,
Oh, the Beyonce's gonna play you?
Yeah.
Okay. Rihanna can play me too.
Okay, cool.
Okay, Beyonce and Rihanna, they could co-star.
Because you know her, like,
Yeah,
personally.
yeah,
Rihanna,
because
right?
I met her and we like
At Coachella.
Yeah, at Coachella, and we like talked a little bit. Like I was like, "Hey, girl,"
lying.
and she was like, "I'll see you at the party." I was like, "Okay, boo, see you there." And she was like just as gorgeous in person, like melanin popping. I loved her.
Riri.
Yeah, so Ree can play me. Okay, you can be B. I'll be Ree.
Perfect.
B and Ree.
Bestie.
Bestie.
Okay, cool. So, Dee, thank you for sitting down with me and allowing everybody else to get to know you just a little bit better.
Of course, I see anything for you.
That wasn't that bad, was it?
No.
So does anybody have any last remarks?
So thank you guys so much for listening to our first episode, and definitely stay tuned for our next one coming out very soon. Until then, you can check us out on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Girl Do Better, the podcast.
I think Cicely wrapped it up for us. So as always, happy Monday. I love you for watching, and I'll see you next week.